Hello and welcome to our vlog. We have it's the 30th of August, almost the end of August, and today we're reading the headlines. So what is it called, the court, the highest court in Israel gave a very strict punishment to Dankner, who is like one of the most powerful people in Israel because of tampering with trading in stocks. Yeah, don't really know too much about that, don't wanna. Then there's Netanyahu speaking at a new nuclear research facility named after Shimon Peres. His son must have been like, oh my God. Netanyahu is speaking there because Shimon Peres' son is politically very, very, very left. So it must have been an interesting meeting. So he said that Israel will continue to work to prevent the military establishment of Iran in Syria. And he said no agreement between Syria and Iran will put us off. And we're not afraid. Our enemies know what we can do. The foreign minister of Iran, Mohammad Zarif, wrote in his Twitter, this is how it goes, Donald Trump is said, cannot believe these people are writing Twitter accounts, and this is a foreign minister of Iran. Iran is a country without nuclear weapon, and she is threatened in nuclear destruction by a warmonger who is standing next to a nuclear weapon facility. Well, if it's not the cattle calling the coal black or whatever. Okay. So that's more this threats going back and forth. Then Iran is a very innocent little sheep, as we know. And then we have the minister of the ambassador of US, Friedman, says that he's talked about that they need to have peace with the Palestinian Authority. The police says that dancing very close to clients in strip bars will be considered prostitution. Well. So, and the extreme right-wing leader has initiated caricatures of Muhammad. What was his name? Geert Wilders has a caricature, anti-Islam caricatures. Oh my God, he already received hundreds of caricatures. Well, let's look at the caricature today. So, let's look at the character for today. I like political characters. Okay, and this is like in jail, in prison. He said I don't know these persons actually, but he said I received more jail time for being good. I don't know. The editorial is very happy with the punishment for the Israeli businessman who received 3 years in jail for stock fraud or whatever. And this is, what is this? Problems with Canada. People are a little bit concerned about weapons and now research, 250,000 people are killed by weapons, like incidents every year. Wow, 250,000? That's crazy. 6 countries are responsible for more than half of these cases. There are US, Brazil, Colombia, Guatemala, Venezuela and Mexico. I never understood people who want to go to South America. The country last is Singapore, only has, they're on the bottom, only 0.1 deaths for 100,000 people. The Journal of American Medical Association said it shows a big problem for public health. They should research violence, weapons, and how to prevent that. Wow, that's like a lot of people. Wow. They say that it hasn't increased, but 2/3 were from murders. In the US, the number of killed by suicide from weapons is bigger than murders. Wow. In the world, 2016, 64 of the deaths from weapons were murders, 27 suicides, 9% accidents. But in US, it decreased slowly, but the suicides increased. US is only number 2 in the world, number of suicides by weapons. The first place is Greenland. Oh my God, it's so weird. This Danish island has 22 suicides for 100,000 people. So Latin America is where everything is. So maybe Donald Trump is not so stupid after all when he's afraid of them. A demonstration against sexual violence by a strip club in Tel Aviv. So they're going to make it more difficult for strip clubs, and they're putting cameras in kindergartens. So Erdogan is arresting people. They kidnapped 6 education workers from Kosovo and brought them to Turkey to face trial. So can't get away from Erdogan. And Trump got rid of his legal advisor, and that's the extreme right leader in Holland planned a caricature of the Mohammed, and they're burning his picture in Pakistan. Really, such a waste of energy, if you ask me. It says here that, contrary to what people thought about ecology, research found that human actions actually affects the savanna in Africa favorably. That the feces of farm animals help the grass. So it's like a cycle. It helps the growth in the savanna. Well, that's good. Okay. What else? The weather is very stable, 31 degrees. Research shows that goats are attracted to smiling people. Many adults maybe remember how the animals prefer somebody else. Now they did research that the expression of a person giving them food affects the goats. And according to research at the Royal Society Open Science, goats can detect facial expression, so smile to your dog also, and they prefer interaction with happy people, like most of us. Domestic animals that are not pets, like dogs and horses, can also recognize human emotions. So people, another argument for the vegetarian, animals are very highly sensitive and intelligent. Don't eat them. Not many people eat goats, but I'm talking about in general. If a goat can recognize faces, think about chickens or other animals. 20 goats were shown pictures of human faces smiling and angry, and the goats preferred to look at the smiling and make contact with them. Smile at a goat. Very interesting. The researchers said it's important the way we make contact with farm animals and other animals because animals can detect a wider range of human emotions. And it's not only pets. And animals react to body language. Not only are able to detect expressions, they prefer to make contact with happy faces. Let's not forget also humans, smile. Although with humans it's a bit more complicated, isn't it? They already showed dogs and horses can detect emotions, but until now there haven't been any findings that animals like goats can recognize human faces. So now researchers, it must be fun to research goats, huh? A research in 2016, are you listening, Shosha? They researched the brain activity of dogs when they're being told a command, and animals identify specific words and not only the tone of voice. Another research is trying to figure out how dogs choose their expressions, and they are as a reaction to human faces. I have that with you a lot, don't I? You always make faces. So dogs are able to make faces to adjust to human faces. Did you know that? That's right. That's why we smile a lot, you little smiley mouse. So that's interesting. Cultural section. A bridge. Tel Aviv. I don't want to read this. And Aretha Franklin, her coffin was placed yesterday, so her fans could pass her. She saved my life, Aretha Franklin, fans say, and yesterday. Oh, she's lying with the shoes. That's weird. Look at that picture. So. 20 years ago, after Rhonda Jefferson was abused again by her boyfriend, her friend said she has to leave him, but she couldn't do it until Aretha Franklin, she was listening to the song Respect, and then she saw it like a sign from above. She heard the song, and then she left her abusive husband the same day. Then she went to Detroit. That's where... Sorry, I'm just getting emotional. To pay respect to her. She came all the way from Philadelphia with her daughter to pay respect to Franklin. Where her coffin has been placed in the Museum of African American History. I never met her, and I never get to tell her I love her. But there's no way she saved my life. Sorry, it's emotional. She was placed in a golden coffin, surrounded by flowers. On Friday is her funeral. Only people that are invited can come. Stevie Wonder is going to come, Jennifer Hudson, Bill Clinton. They said she had a smile on her face. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Herbie Hancock, disappointed, according to the research, but they said Johnny Maxwell was amazing. He played with David Bowie, and they said he did an amazing job. But they said Herbie Hancock only played with the synthesizer and was disappointing. Okay, so this is about future of music in London. The future is here. Objects that will help people imagine what the future will look like in 5 years. Huh. The future begins here. That's interesting. Somebody just told me there are 2 days you can't influence. Yesterday and tomorrow. Denmark. 9 million tourists. Oh, die, shush. 9 million tourists come there every 2017. Oh, I was there too. Shush, shush. That's me. Double the number of the people there. Twice as many people as and they're talking about what we can learn in Israel about tourism. They convert banks to hotels. They're very well prepared for tourists. So, different exhibits. You know what I don't like is they tell you the events, but they don't say what time. They don't say what time it is. Yeah, that you can speak. Shh. She's very upset for some reason. Okay. Oh, this is cute. What is this? Drinks that... This is made from almond milk, figs, maca. What the hell is that? Piata. And bestsellers. Yesterday the Venice Film Festival opens and people are waiting outside. Sleeping bags, it looks like. On the path to silence, death waits outside. The goodness sends rays of advertisement for the biggest creation planned and created. Wow. So, bye, Thomas. Peace, light, and love.